Hi everyone, this is Carolyn Speaks, the State of Our World on Wednesday, July 29, 2020. So let's see what it is. Well, the good old coronavirus is still with us and can't get rid of it, not that easily. As of this evening, the number of coronavirus cases in the U.S. is 4,433,411, and I think we have 150,000 people who passed away from this virus as well. Far cry from when we started this about, I don't know, 5.5 months ago when Trump said, we have 15 cases, going to go down to 0. And now we have 4,433,411, and 150,000 plus people have passed away from this virus. And that number includes, in my family, those affected by this virus includes a cousin of mine, who's no longer with us because of the virus, and a niece who is recovering, hopefully, and she's doing good. But this is a really terrible thing to have. We have to continue to shelter in place. Wear those masks. Wear those gloves if you need to. Only go out when you have to. Practice social distancing, 6 feet between you and any other person. And protect the essential workers, like the grocery store workers, the healthcare workers, the first responders, the transportation workers, the farm workers, the agriculture workers. And also help out those vulnerables who are not essential workers, but they are vulnerable populations like the homeless, where they're living in shelter on the streets, Native Americans, veterans in veterans' homes, those living in assisted living homes, retirement homes, and nursing homes. So just keep them in your thoughts. And no one should have to go back to work in a place that's going to make them sick or kill them. Schools should remain closed until it's safe to open them. Do virtual learning for all the students, and the government provide all the students with all the technology and computers they need. And then eventually we're going to solve this. I still maintain we need a real shutdown. We didn't do it properly because we have no national leadership coming out of Washington. We need a real shutdown. Everything gets shut down. You only go out when you have to. You wear a mask when you go out in public, and wear gloves if you need to. And that's the only way we're going to get this. These people are still refusing to wear masks in certain places. Various states did shut down. They were doing well, and they were opening up and doing well, but people are not following the guidelines and the rules. They're gathering in large numbers. They're going to the beach. They're going to the park. They're not practicing social distancing. They're not wearing a mask. You have to wear a mask. Mandatory. The life you save could be your own or the life of someone who's a friend or a family member. So, wear that mask. Now, we do have an election coming up in November. If you're not registered to vote, please do get registered and learn the issues and the candidates that you'd be voting on in your area. And if your state allows it, get an absentee ballot. Get a mail-in ballot so you don't have to take a chance of getting sick by going out to vote in person. So get that absentee ballot. The post office has been pretty busy this election season, but unfortunately, Trump and Republicans are still trying to destroy the post office. They've appointed a Postmaster General who is a real supporter of Trump, who is trying to slow down the mail and also keep the hours down to post office. The post office performs a vital function, so let's not hurt it. It's been with us before we had a country. It was created by Benjamin Franklin. So let's take good care of it. Call your legislators, tell them you support the post office, and do everything they can to get the post office the funding it needs. repeal that dumb law in 2006 when the lame duck session. The Republicans passed this law requiring the post office to retire benefits decades in advance. We have to repeal that law and return any money paid under those conditions back to the post office. And also prevented the post office pursuing other types of business, like mail-in, like postal banking. Now that would be nice. So let's support the post office, and it'll be in good shape. We'll have our mail. If you try to privatize the post office, the private company is not going to deliver to every address in the country. They'll decide what's profitable and what's not. So let's support the post office. Now we have a virus to contend with, and it's not going anywhere soon. We don't have national leadership in Washington. We have a lot of good governors who are doing a lot of good things, but we don't have any national leadership. We need, there's still shortage of personal protective equipment, ventilators, respirators, testing equipment around the country. Everyone should be tested. If you test positive, you get quarantined, trace your contacts, and if your contacts test positive, you trace their contacts, and so on. Anyone who does test positive, they'll be quarantined, they'll be treated, and we'll get them well. Now, so that's what should be done. That's not what's being done. There is another stimulus bill that's being talked about. The House has already passed one, $3 trillion. It covers all kinds of good stuff. And now it's up to the Senate, and the Senate's kind of reluctant to pass anything that big in terms of money. But they did create their version of the stimulus bill, and they included $8 billion for military weaponry in a coronavirus bill. Now, what in the heck does military weaponry have to do with a coronavirus bill? I don't know. I hope to get it out. Also, there's the president is trying to get the Republicans to include about $2 billion or so for a new FBI office. What is that all about? Because there's an empty building across from the Trump Hotel, and Trump doesn't want another hotel to move into that area and compete with them. The Republicans in the Senate are reluctant to do that, so hopefully we will get a bill that does not include a new FBI building and does not include $8 billion for military weaponry in a coronavirus bill. So we need to keep the $600 extra a week given to everyone who's unemployed, in addition to the unemployment insurance, and the Republicans are fighting that. $600 is not a lot of money. It's not a disincentive to go out and find a job. There are no jobs. And no one should be forced to go back to work in a place that's going to make them sick or kill them. Now, mentioned farm workers, agricultural workers before. Now, what's happened is the Trump administration has been issuing H-2A visas, an H-2A visa program that allows bringing in temporary farm workers. And they work with a contractor who goes and recruits these people and bring them in. But then they find out when they get here, they've been lured here for a job that's not a paid job. So gotta help these people. And anyone coming here to seek asylum should be allowed to seek asylum. We should stop separating families, separating kids from their parents, and not keeping records of where they're being sent, and not deporting people who have the virus. So, there's a lot of things that need to be done. So, that's where we stand right now, and there's a lot of work to be done. Now, so what else is happening? Well, we know Congressman John Lewis passed away last Friday, and he's the conscience of the Congress, a civil rights leader, civil rights icon, and he's getting all kinds of eulogies and things, ceremonies for him. So he's doing good. I mean, he's really being recognized for everything he did. Now, there's a coronavirus cure video that Trump is sharing on social media, but there's no cure for the coronavirus. So I don't know why he's doing that. Now, in I think all stores are saying you have to wear a mask when you come into the store as a customer. And there are retail stores that are relying on the retail employees to enforce that rule. And these retail employers are getting pushback from customers. They're getting attacked by customers. Even in the U.S. House of Representatives, Republican Congress men and women are refusing to wear a mask. But now we have a congressman, Republican congressman from Texas, by the name of Louis Gohmert, and he very rarely wore a mask, and he has now tested positive for the virus, for the coronavirus. And he has a staff of people. He is forced to come back to office in Washington and to be there in person. So chances are a lot of those people will test positive for this virus. And even though he has the virus, he's still not wearing a mask. So what's that all about? Louis Gohmert, put a mask on and go home and quarantine and stop speaking out against what needs to be done to protect everybody. And we still have, protesters all over the country protesting the murder of George Floyd in Minnesota by a white Minnesota police officer. And Portland, Oregon has been a real center of protest. And then the U.S. Attorney General Barr sent in federal forces without badges and unmarked cars. But so the protesters are getting a lot of support from the moms and the dads and all kinds of people in the community. So these federal agents are now supposed to be leaving in a day, and hopefully they really will be going. You know, when we had, when states were shutting down and requiring people to wear a mask, there's a lot of pushback or revolt from people said, why are we shutting down? Why do we have to wear a mask? In the state of Michigan, which has a Democratic governor, when this was happening, people went to the state capitol in Michigan with guns and not wearing masks, not social distancing, and were protesting the lockdown rules. Now it is said there are groups that are spurring the anti-shutdown orders and the mask orders all over the country, and they're also saying, you know, we can send kids to school now. We don't have to do anything special. Just send them back to school. Doesn't matter if they get sick. Doesn't matter if they die. But that's unfortunately not going to happen because the teachers and the school districts leaders are speaking out against doing something like that and endangering everyone. So let's do what's right and keep everybody safe, okay? Now there's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of work to be done, and we're really all in this together. So if you have a home to live in, you have a telephone and electricity and television and a computer and the internet, you're all set. So don't complain about having to stay home. It's not a big sacrifice. Just do what's necessary to keep everybody safe. Okay. Now, there were some hearings in Congress about the Justice Department's response to the protesters, and they finally got William Barr there to testify, and he's, I don't know, hopefully they'll be able to get something done, and they'll start working like a real attorney general, and not a lackey of Trump. Now, remember, we have 150,000 plus people who passed away from this virus. We have over 4 million people who have the virus in the U.S. So let's be positive. Let's do something positive, okay? Now, maybe it is time to have a little song. Okay. So what shall we sing? All right, I'm thinking, how about a short song? I have a short song. It's called He. It's a very old song. I don't know who wrote it, but it's kind of nice. I think it's nice. All right, here we go. He can turn the tides and calm the angry sea. He alone decides who writes a symphony. He alone can hear a child's first prayer. He da 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 da. Told you it was short. Okay, that's he. Now, I want you to stay safe and obey all the rules to keep you and everyone else safe. And remember, kindness goes a long way. Kindness goes a very long way. Thank you for tuning in today, July 29th, 2020. I hope you tune in again tomorrow for another meeting with Caroline Speaks, the State of Her World. Thank you. Stay safe. Be well. See you tomorrow. Good night.